It's now time for the 1017 The Team High School Football Halftime Show with Austin Denton. Take it away, Austin.
And we're back here live from FM Wilson Stadium here. It is a blowout so far for the La Cueva Bears. They have the 31-3 advantage for the Los Cruces Bulldawgs at the half. Thanks for tuning in to the Newsenda Credit Union Halftime Show. I'm Austin Denton with you, and as always, thank you so much for joining us here on the Halftime Show. Before we get to some scores that are going on across the state, and we'll bring in Coach Williams excuse me, for the first half analysis, let's go over the stats here in the first half. So far, for the La Cueva Bears, it has been nothing but good stuff for them, as they have had 5 of their 6 drives go their way. Only one of them resulted in a punt. 4 of them have resulted in a touchdown, and the other one resulting in a field goal. Noah Woisen is one of the rushers for La Cueva. He has a carry for 22 yards. He got his first carry later on here in the second half. DeAndre Williams back on the board. He has 12 carries for 34 yards. And the score, Connor O'Toole also has a couple carries. He has 2 carries for 8 yards. Now everyone is wondering, where's Dylan Summer? Well, we have been told by Adam Deal and the rest here up in the press box that he dinged himself up at practice this week. They're holding him out just as a precautionary, so that is why Austin Smith is getting all the snaps tonight. Austin Smith so far is 7 of 13 for 182 yards on the night for Austin Smith, the junior quarterback. Connor O'Toole has the majority of the receptions, 4 catches for 78 yards. You have Boomer Mady getting a couple of catches as well, 2 catches for 21 yards, and DeAndre Williams with a catch for 83 yards, one of the big ones that gave La Cueva one of their touchdowns on the night. Now, the adversary in the Bulldogs, things have just not been going their way. As we take a look at all their drives, 6 of their 7 drives have ended with no score. The last one, obviously, because they went into halftime. But just to go over what their drives have been, here's what it is. Interception, punt, punt, a field goal, punt, punt, and then halftime. So not really much has been going their way in the Bulldogs' way, that is. Let's take a look at the rushing stats first for the Bulldogs. Ivan Molina with 5 carries for 16 yards. Chase Kalapek with 9 carries for 31 yards. Marcos Lopez, the quarterback, he has 2 carries for 8 yards. Well, technically, one of them was a sack, so you could call it 1 carry for -2 yards. Ramirez also with himself on the board, 1 carry for 16 yards. And Kennedy Aleman with a carry for 6 yards. Marcos Lopez, the quarterback, has not had the best of nights, as he is currently 2 of 9 for -10 yards. The only 2 passes that he has completed tonight have been for negative yardage. So far, not so good for Marcos Lopez, the quarterback. And those two catches came to Chase Kalapek, and he has 2 catches for the -10 yards that Marcos Lopez has put on the board. Also, not to mention, Marcos Lopez has an interception on the night as well. So if you're head coach of the Bulldogs, Mark Lopez, you're hoping that your team is going to be turning things around here, making sure that they've been converting on their offensive possessions, which is what they have not been able to do at this moment in time. But as for the Bears, you want to, if you're head coach Brandon Back right now, you want to be telling your team, maintain composure and stay right where you are, as they are up 31-3. That's a 28-point differential, which is pretty major considering what Los Cruces has been able to do this summer. Los Cruces hasn't been, even though they lost to El Dorado last game 70-42, they did look pretty solid in their last game, but they have not looked solid as of right now on their travel up to Albuquerque. They could be falling to 1-2 if things keep up here. When we come back, we'll go over some scores that are going on across the state of New Mexico. Plus, we'll get our first half analysis from Coach Williams. Back in a moment, Newsenda Credit Union Halftime Show, ESPN Radio 1017, The Team.
It's now time for the 1017 The Team High School Football Halftime Show with Austin Denton. Take it away, Austin.
And we're back here live from FM Wilson Stadium here in the Duke City of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is the La Cueva Bears 31, the Las Cruces Bulldawgs 3 here on our Better Business Bureau game of the week. You're listening to the Newsender Credit Union halftime show. Thank you to Newsender Credit Union for sponsoring the show. Before we bring in Coach Williams, let's go over some scores that are going on across the state of New Mexico right now. First off, let's get to Class 5A action. The Piedra Vista Panthers are tied with the Valley Vikings at the half, 6-6. That game again at halftime. We also mentioned West Mesa is leading Mayfield at the half down at the Field of Dreams by a score of 7-3. That is a big thing there for the Mustangs and the new head coach Anthony Ansatig. Goddard is leading Deming at the moment, 21-8. Hobbs leading Roswell 21-7. Santa Rosa leading Robertson 13-0. Bloomfield leading St. Mike's 21-0. Taos leading Aztec 35-6. And we also have Ruidoso 28, Alamogordo 14, Santa Fe 14, Espanola Valley 8, Portales 14, West Las Vegas 0, and Artesia 21, Belen 7. Those are all the scores that we have for you. But as always, keep tweeting at us your scores. If you have them, tweet at me at AustinDenton_7 or at our radio station Twitter at 1017 The Team. Now we bring in Coach Williams for the first half analysis. And Coach, it's pretty much a one-sided game right now. You have the Bears who have been able to convert on 5 of their 6 drives, and then you have Las Cruces who has only been able to convert on 1 of their 7 drives tonight. So basically the momentum is all on the Cueva side right now.
Well, no question, the Bears came out of the chute and they were ready to play, and they scored not only in their first possession, on their first play of their first possession. We had a surprise starter in Austin Smith,
yes,
who got the nod for the Bears, and he's really been doing a fine job. He maybe had one poor decision on a zone read where he handed the ball off instead of keeping the ball for his own possession, but it's been really all Bears.
And like we mentioned earlier, in case you missed it, the Bears holding Dylan Summer out, their usual starting quarterback at the moment, as we have been told by Adam Deal of ProView Networks and the Brendan Back, head coach of the Bears, that they are holding Summer out just as a precautionary right now. And they have trust in Austin Smith as they utilized him last game against Valley and now have been using him all in this first half against Cruces. So let's kind of put it into perspective here. If you were, as being a former high school coach yourself, if you're in Mark Lopez's shoes right now for the Bulldogs, what are you telling your team?
Well, we have to maintain some poise so that we can continue to make progress. All of these things are important in winning games and competing, but we still are directed towards our primary goal, which is win the district championship. And we've got to be able to go down and compete with Hobbs and Carlsbad and Centennial and Mayfield, and that's the utmost. And we knew it was going to be a struggle. We knew we were going to have to bring some offensive linemen along, and that's what we're in. So let's keep playing hard. We did this last week against El Dorado. We didn't give up. We came back and scored 42 points. So we've got to keep plugging away and keep making progress. Every play better than the last.
And just to go, like we just went over some of the scores, obviously, I think one of the biggest shockers that is kind of going through the waves right now is West Mesa leading Mayfield. West Mesa is still a rebuilding team, but Coach Anthony Ansatig has been able to kind of build them up to the best they can be, and right now they could be going for their first win with Mayfield. So would that be a shock to you as well?
Well, absolutely, and because Mayfield has such a great reputation, you're down at the Field of Dreams, and for any new coach to be able to put his team on the map, he's got to win a game that he was not supposed to win. His team has to upset somebody, and for West Mesa, it would be their first victory of the year. They'd be able to go down there and come away with a very big victory against Mayfield. So it would be a shocker to the other 6A teams.
Excuse me, that is for sure. and we will come back with Scott Galletti and Coach Williams here in just a few moments with the second half action. This has been the New Center Credit Union. The New Center Credit Union halftime show. Thanks for joining me. I'll check in with you all at postgame. ESPN Radio 101.7 The Team Game of the Week.
Indeed it was, and now it is time for the post-game show, and we've got Brandon back down on the field, so why don't we go ahead and go to Austin Denton.
All right, guys, I'm joined on the field now by Bears head coach Brandon Beck. Coach, I know you're out there in the rain, so I'm going to get you out of there as quickly as possible. But first off, I wanted to ask you, career night for Austin Smith tonight, 255 passing yards. You kind of threw everyone for a curveball and started him tonight. Just talk about his performance and what he was able to do for the team tonight.
Well, you know, he's been a capable quarterback for the last couple years for us. We knew he's got a lot of talent. He's done his job over the summer just like Dylan has, and he got his opportunity tonight and definitely took the most advantage he could of that. Played really well. You know, the boys are proud of him. I know our team is proud of him. Our coaches are. And I know he's having a fun night to go out there and show the talent he has and what he can do.
7 of your 9 drives, you were able to convert a score. Only 2 times you guys punted on your drives. Just talk about the offensive efficiency and how you were able to convert on pretty much every single possession that you got.
Well, you know, all that goes back to our offensive line and the coaches for doing their job and putting guys in the right spot, and then boys just making plays. And so it really comes up to those 5 guys up front. They did their job. We knew we could trust them all night long, and they made big plays.
Cibola next week for homecoming. I know you guys want to celebrate this win, but looking into Cibola, who just defeated Highland by mercy rule, talk about your keys heading into that game and getting ready for the Cougars.
Well, you know, Cibola's a good opponent, and they always play us well. Coach Williams has his staff and his kids ready to go every week. Homecoming brings another challenge with us to stay focused and get our job done through the week and make sure we're prepared for a very good Westside team, and we're going to expect a big fight from Cibola. They've been playing on the last 3 weeks. They've been playing well. I believe they're 3-0 now, and so they're making big plays. And we know it's going to be another battle, another Friday night where we're going to have to get after it.
All right, well, Coach, thanks again for joining me. Go celebrate the win, and we will see you next week. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
That is head coach Brandon Beck of the La Cueva Bears. Scott, I'll send it back to you.